Hi, this is 365801 and this is my BL recommendations and TBR video for the Buzzword Readathon, or the 2021 Reading Challenge, and this is for the month of March. Now, as I have mentioned previously, if you are interested in taking part, head on over to Books and Lala, that's Kayla's channel, and she will be able to give you all the information. She has a great video and she breaks down month by month. Now, I do plan on taking part every single month, and my TBR for February is still really quite large. I have managed to get through quite a lot, and I plan on putting this particular video up on the 20th of February, so I still have a whole week. I still have a whole week to read those duo brands. Don't come for me. I will get it done. But if you're interested in what I am reading for February, or what I was planning to read at least, go check out my February video as well. Now, for March, we head on back over to just the single word buzzwords rather than the thematic ones, and for March the word is time, and that means it's quite an easy one to do. We just look for one specific word, and that makes the list a lot shorter. So this video should hopefully be very short compared to last month, and my TBR for March should also be really short as well. So I will include a couple of other things at the end of the video, specifically my light novel reading and my long series reading as well. So this TBR is not just the buzzword, but also my general reading for the year too. And if you would like some recommendations for reading that is not BL, make sure you check out Kayla's video. She goes through loads of recommendations as well. Now, the first thing I will do is head straight on over to my spreadsheet and type in the word time. Now, 4 entries come up. This is just in print media and what I have in my collection. So the first title is Not Enough Time. This is a Shoko Hidaka title. As you may know, if you watched last month's video, I had planned to, and I now have, read Blue Morning. I do plan on making a separate review video just for it because it's fabulous. So I would really love to be able to read this. Unfortunately, it is in my other collection, so I don't have access to it at the moment. If you have a copy, feel free to read it, and then just in the comments let me know how fabulous it is. I'm very jealous. I want to read it. I want to get my copy. And I don't think you can actually get a digital copy of this. I think it's only available in print. So, unfortunately, Not Enough Time will not go on my TBR, but as soon as I have access to it, I will be reading it. Now, the second title that comes up is Part-Time Pets. This is Rino Amagi's title. It's due, and I don't actually think I've read this, mainly because it looks like trash. Animal ears. Hey, you know, just the artwork doesn't really appeal to me, the cover work doesn't appeal to me, and I don't think I've ever sat down and just given it the time. And that's kind of the whole point of these Buzzword readathons, is to read in the collection that I haven't read yet and that I, for whatever reason, haven't picked up yet. So this is definitely going to go on my TBR. At least I have one thing to read. The next title that comes up is one I have in this collection as well, and that is an 801 title, The President's Time, and that is Tamaki Kirishima. Once again, it's the art style on the front that's put me off, even though this is a brand new copy. And I think I have 2 volumes, well, 2 copies of this same title. Why? This one is brand new, it still has the plastic on, I've never opened it. So that kind of shows that this art style is not one that I find that appealing. So maybe the story inside is, so I'm gonna give it a go. It's gonna go on my TBR for the month of March. Now, the final title that comes up on my spreadsheet is Time Lag. And this is written by Shinobu Goto and Hotaru Odagiri. Now, Shinobu Goto is known for the Tamaki-kun series and Passion, as well as Hotaru Odagiri, who's known for the Ring Finger series and Betrayal Knows My Name, Invisible Boy. There's a few other titles as well. So yeah, I own this. Unfortunately, it's in my other collection. I have read it. I read it when I bought it, so this is quite a few years ago now. I would pick it up and put it in my TBR if I could, but unfortunately I can't. So this will be one to read next time. It's also a bit of a shame because these two are quite well known within BL and have a lot of very famous BL works. So it would be good to give this story a reread. Two, stalwarts in the industry coming together to create work usually produces something good, but from my memory, I'm not too sure if this was a good story or not. I'd like to find out. So there were only 4 entries in my spreadsheet for the word time, so that meant I had to go and look at some digital titles that I might want to pick up or read for the month of March. Now the first place I went to was Renta. I just typed in the word time because they have quite a good search engine, and then I just classified it by comic and then yaoi manga. And there is a few titles to look at that look quite interesting. However, nothing really jumped out at me. There are some that are on sale, so I could definitely read a full volume just for like $2. Which is really cheap and really accessible, but at the same time, like I said, I'm trying to read what I have in my collection or things I have access to that I've already paid for, and I don't really want to, pick up more titles to read. But there are a few BL titles on Renta with the word time if you are interested. Now then I went over to the Jun Manga website and of course once again typed in the word time, and a few titles came up. Obviously the ones that came up on their website are available digitally, so things that they might have printed already, and that's why I think that Not Enough Time isn't available digitally. It's not on their website. Now All the Time came up, and that's also available on Renta, so you can have your choice of where to read it. And something else came up which I'd completely forgotten about, which was Pure Love's Sexy Time, which is a psychedelical title. I think it's a psychedelic. 2 volumes, and I own it, and I have read it, and I feel like I read it last year and 2019 in January, so I know I've read it in the last couple of years, so I could pick it up again. I feel like I've read it in 2020 as well. There's 2 volumes, quite easy to read. Do I want to? I'm not too sure. I might read it, just add it to my TBR then. Now another title that came up on the Jun Manga website was Playtime AV, which did look quite interesting, and I'm interested in the story. It looks quite fun, but as I've said, I'm not going to be buying things if I can avoid it. February has already so far not been a great month in terms of reining in my spending. Oh dear. So I am trying to restrict, so I probably won't pick it up. Luckily for me, Sublime have absolutely no titles with the word time in it, so I don't have to worry about wanting to buy anything from their website. I already caved. They had their Valentine's Day sale and I picked something up. If you're interested, you can hear all about it in my month-end reading wrap-up. Oh dear. I then headed on over to Leshen, and Leshen have in a way done me dirty this month as well. I won't go into it too much, but those free chapters are dangerous, especially for their 2020 top 50. I'm just saying. Anyway, when it comes to BL titles, they had 3 that looked interesting, and I had a wee look at the synopsis of each of them, but I don't think I want to invest my coins in those titles. But if you are interested in any titles on Leshen, there are 3 BL titles that have time in the title. Then I went over to the Paikia website. This is the main reason I'm looking at digital. I have a subscription and I haven't used it as much as I should have. I really want to try and read at least 2 Paikia titles each week and try and catch up, but they just keep releasing more stuff and I can't keep up. I'm feeling overwhelmed. But yeah, I'm interested in their titles for sure. So I'm going to go through once again. And they do have one here that has an actual specific time, but that will come up probably in August for the Buzzword Readathon in August. In August, the buzzword is a time of day, so it's a specific time, so that might be quite useful. As is the next title I'm going to show. This is Bothersome Hours. It's not really a time, and it's not really a time of day, but it just looks cute, and I'm like, was this here the last time? I didn't even notice it, so I might read this just as an extra, maybe after I've read everything else. Now I finally came to one and I almost missed it because I was so distracted by the one above. Every time we touch, I hear that sound. Brilliant. I have one Paikia title I would definitely be reading for the month of March. Now I know some of you might be thinking, oh, you know, it's a shame that they haven't put in the search word function, but I actually am finding it quite useful to go through all of their titles just alphabetically. Because they're adding so many and because I'm actively looking at their library and they add things to the library every, you know, week, and here we go. This is another example of the reason why you should keep looking. This new title that they've just added, no matter how many times it takes, it has time in the word. The title Anya Yuji. It looks great. I've heard loads of fantastic things about it, and it looks like the whole thing's on there. 4 spicy chilies. Very excited. I do have a few of Anya Yuji's titles. I think she did Men of Tattoos or something like that, and also some and a Sublime title as well, which I have and read last year as well. So I'm very excited about this. I'm very happy that it's on the Paikia website. It's both, I think, the whole thing. So very, very excited that this is on my TBR. Probably the one that I'm most excited about. It's a Paikia title. Yay! I'm very happy. So here is another title. Playtime ends here. Matsumoto Miyako House. This was just added in December, so that's fairly new. As I've said, I have some Miyako House. I think she released a Jun Manga title, something about stars. So yeah, I'm gonna put this on my TBR. It's not a very big TBR, so I definitely feel like it's doable. So once again, I just want to point out, it's very important to keep on checking, because after I had recorded last month's video for February, they ended up putting on Red Theatre. This is Ogawa Chise's work, who obviously does Cast Heaven. This was put up on the 6th of February, so during the month. And it is 5 spicy chilies. You know I have to read this, so I'm going to try and see if I can get this done by the end of February. As soon as I finish recording this, I'm going to be like over and reading it. This is why you need to keep checking. This is why you need to keep up to date with what they're releasing. It's just too much. I do in a sense feel like there's a lot. As I'm scrolling through, I'm finding more and more colour titles that I haven't got to yet. I am a bit behind in the Paikia colour titles. I've been trying to focus on my actual physical titles, so I do feel a little bit overwhelmed in a sense. Is anyone else feeling like you can't keep up? You got a little bit behind in Paikia, and then you're like, oh no, I'm never gonna catch up. Yeah, but this is helpful. This is helpful. That was everything from Paikia. I went through it. It just reminded me of my actual TBR from last month's video, and so I still have so many things that I need to read from Paikia. So my final wrap-up video for February will probably involve a lot of Paikia titles. It's just a shame because it doesn't work on my iPad. Does anyone else have this issue? Like, I don't enjoy reading it on my laptop, but I can't read it on my iPad because for some strange reason the cookie thing pops up and it doesn't let me have access. Anyone else have an issue with that? So I have to use my phone because my phone's new and my iPad's old. Anyway, I've got a lot of reading to do. So that is everything, and I now have my TBR for the Buzzword Readathon or the 2021 Reading Challenge. And in print, I will be reading Part-Time Pets, that's Rino Amagi, and The President's Time by Tamaki Kirishima. I will also be reading or rereading Pure Love's Sexy Time by Psychedelico, that's volume 1 and 2. I will also be reading some titles from the Paikia website, and that is Every Time We Touch, I Hear That Sound, Hayame Dento. And every time I say that, I hear in my head, every time we touch, I get the feel. I know, that's what I heard. I will be reading No Matter How Many Times It Takes, which just looks fabulous. Anya Yuiji, that's volumes 1 and 2 for that as well. And Playtime Ends Here, Matsumoto Miyako House. So it's quite a small TBR, and because of that I will be adding on, just to this video, some extra things for my March reads. So as part of my reading goals for the year 2021, I want to try and include some prose every single month. That might include a male romance or a yaoi novel. This month it's going to be Eternal Love, so I'm going to look forward to that. It's probably looks like some sort of Arabian Nights desert setting, which I really love. And I also want to read a long-running BL series. Very often I have it in my collection and I haven't actually sat down and read it all. This month for March I'm going to be reading Awkward Silence. I've started this a few times and I've never actually completed it. I don't think I've ever read volume 5 and 6. 6 still has its plastic on, so no. And I have 2 digital copies of the extras that I got from Sublime's website. So I will hopefully finally get that completed. I enjoy it every time I start it, but I never finish it. So, in front of you, you can see the 6 volumes of Awkward Silence, the yaoi novel Eternal Love, and the 2 volumes with time in it, Part-Time Pets and The President's Time. If you have any suggestions or recommendations, can you put it down in the comments below for April's long-running BL series that I should read? So anything that is over 3 volumes. I think if it's a 3-volume series, then it's not as daunting, and so I've probably read it. So if there's anything more than 3 volumes long that you think, oh, she should definitely read that or have that read, it's probably in my collection and not necessarily read. So if you want to see what's in my collection, go check out my Behind Closed Doors series. I'll put a link in the corner. So that is everything on my TBR for the Buzzword Readathon, and I'm probably most looking forward to No Matter How Many Times It Takes by Anya Yuiji. That looks fantastic. But I am looking forward to everything else that I'm planning on reading for March as well. A little bit of a more relaxed month, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm still in February and I'm still reading my TBR. I still have so much to get through, and a lot on the Paikia site that I haven't read yet. So I still have a bit of time in February to get it done. And I still have some time to read those dual brand titles. I don't know why, but it's just like, ugh. I'll get it done. And they will all be in a wrap-up video out sometime at the beginning of March. So look forward to me either managing it or not. We'll see. I might manage it. I will manage it. I will. I believe in myself. I will. It's just reading. You can do it. I don't know why that's such a like Mama loves manga when it's just sit down and read your manga. It's because it's such a chore at times, honestly. If you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. Dual brand. This is why we're doing Buzzword Readathons, to get through your TBR, and I will. I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling it. Anyway, if you're interested in taking part in the Buzzword Readathon, make sure you head on over to Books and Lala's channel and watch her video. Take any recommendations. If you have any recommendations for books that have time in the title that I haven't mentioned, let me know in the comments down below, and let anyone else know as well. And if you are interested in finding out if I do manage to read dual brand, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will be notified when the next videos are up on the channel. If you like this video and you want to, give it a thumbs up. It's up to you. And if you're interested, I do male romance, manga, BL videos on this channel. So remember, every day is a BL day for me. It is a BL day for me. I will see you in the next one. Bye.